Alrighty. I think we're good. Let me turn this down real quick. All right, we should be good to go. What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? Let's go ahead and check FOREX Factory. And sorry for the delay, guys, but I'm gonna start streaming at around 6 a.m. to 8 every morning now. Have a new schedule. I'm gonna send down the Discord this week, but yeah, I'm finally back in office, and we're gonna run this up. So I'm just gonna double check and make sure I send everything to the Discord this morning before we get started. And of course, all these live streams will be saved. I hope you guys are having a good morning. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna make sure everything's set in the Discord and everyone's good to go. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna make sure everything's set in the Discord and everyone's good to go. Give me 2 minutes. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. What's good, Money O? What's good? What's good? How you doing, Otis? Yo, check your messages when you have time. I did. I was gonna call you sometime this morning or late afternoon. Something tells me I gotta get back into the exposed videos, man. I've been peeping your stories. People are exposing again, or I'm sorry, people are scamming again. Let me go ahead and move this right here. Can you guys see my screen? All right, I think we're good. But yeah, Otis, I'm gonna hit you up later today. I looked at your story, and I was hearing about all these prop firms scamming people, closing accounts, all that stuff. It's kind of motivating me to get back into undercover ace. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started, guys. And again, if you guys are new to this stream, make sure you guys join the Discord, and this will be saved as well. So even if you leave or you miss out, it will be on my YouTube channel. All right. So let's go ahead and check news real quick. Not too much is happening this morning. It is October 18th, guys. All these folders are yellow, meaning there's not a lot of volatility happening on these currency pairs. We have Euro, we have CAD, and we have USD from the time I will be trading this morning from 6 to 8. So not too much on this. Of course, you guys can check up on news and read about them if you want. I have the links posted in Discord. And if not, it's just simply on Forex Factory. Let's see what's going on FX Street. I sent out some news in Discord on GU. GU saying it's extending the downside below 1300 after BOE confirms that the FT report about a new delay to the start of the bound sales were inaccurate. So let's just make sure this is accurate as well. Once you guys read up on news, you want to simply just confirm that on the chart. So on GU, it is heading to the downside, as you guys can see. So just from looking at this, I can already tell that if it does continue to push down, it's going to stop at some sort of demand, or it's going to retrace off of a demand zone. So here is our new demand zone that's probably going to head to, simply just looking at traffic and where there is a lot of volatility, okay? So if we have a breaker structure, as you guys can see, it is happening right now through this previous demand. Most likely it's going to retrace at this new one, all right? And that's just simply looking at price. And we can go ahead, actually we can go ahead and readjust this. This actually looks a lot more accurate. So I'm sorry guys, if we have a breaker structure around here, then it's probably gonna go towards 1200, all right? But this is looking like a good potential spot for an entry if price decides to stay at this area. We can go ahead and look at the 30-minute time frame. As you guys can see, we have a clear market gap as well. So this is a good area for a potential buy. Let's go ahead and read this one more time so we understand what investors are looking at. GU is extending the downside below 1300. So we look at the chart. This is 1300 right now. It's extending to the downside, which is accurate. The renewed US dollar buying and fading expectations of big BOE rate hikes add to pairs misery. All right. Go on the 4-hour time frame. So as you guys can see, this is actually looking like a good spot for an entry. We can go ahead and delete this for confusion wise, but if we go ahead and just use our tool and visually draw a bullish trend, you can see that price is forming some sort of trend right here. So we have some higher highs, some higher lows, and we go on the lower time frames, you can clearly see that price is rejecting off of a newfound area of that trend. So if you guys wanted to, this would be a good opportunity to place a fib, right? From the bottom to the top, simply waiting for price at that golden zone. As you guys can see, it kind of is pushing towards that 76 zone, which is primarily indicating that this is a invalid fib setup. And this is when we want to use the laws of supply and demand. So we're simply just marking up some zones that price is heading towards to, and we're trying to look for entries. But that's my analysis on GU. Let's go ahead and look at GA. Let me turn this down. So GA, we have a nice break at 1.79. And I'm anticipating price to continue towards our newfound demand zone on our 1-hour time frame and our 2-hour time frame. Simply looking at the higher perspective, you can clearly see that this candlestick is pushing towards down to this new demand. After we had this nice bullish candle, finally has a break at this support and it's pushing down. So it is now 6:17. At around 6:25, we're going to take a 5-minute break. and I'm looking at the chat. But for now, if you guys want to send any chart analysis, ask any questions, if you guys want me to go over concepts, I'll be more than glad to. All right, so here's a really good example of an impulse bullish candle and a Fibonacci setup. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain this. I'm gonna remove all this real quick. This was a move that I caught last week on GN, simply just using price action. So let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and replay to around here. So as I continue to play this move out, I want you guys to pay attention to something. What are the candles doing? And can you identify a really strong impulsive candle or impulse candle? Let's see, how do I, one second, guys. How do I? Oh, here we go. It's at the bottom. I didn't even see that. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I think they updated Trading View, but let's go ahead and talk about it. So in this example, we're going to talk about impulse candles, how to spot a nice fib setup, and why you should use this to your advantage. So what I'm simply going to do, guys, is play this move out, and we're going to wait until we can see a nice bullish candle of volatility. All right. So as I continue, we're just trading on GN, and we're just being patient, guys. You never want to follow price. All right. You want to lead price to a certain area. In this scenario, you guys can see that candles are kind of stagnant and they are consolidating. So as I'm pressing play, we're going to wait this out. And boom, as you guys can see, this candle stands out from every other candle, obviously, right? And this is what I like to call traffic. We have this huge bullish candle, a lot of momentum. So when you guys have something like this, you want to try to take advantage of, one, a retracement, two, a Fibonacci setup, or three, you want to lead price to a given area for a continuation of price. All right. So next example, after I see this, I'm going to take my tool, place it from the bottom of traffic, that bullish candle, to the top of traffic, that last bullish close. So as we have this bearish opening, this move is already done. So I'm placing my fib simply from the bottom, right, to the top. And now as I continue, I'm simply waiting for price to enter in that golden zone between 0.5 and 0.618, which is why these lines are yellow, okay? And boom, once I see this, guys, I'm taking my, what do you call this? Ellipse tool. I'm placing a circle, and this is an area that I want to potentially enter in for a buy, for a continuation. So as I go on my lower time frames, I can clearly see where price is at. Let's see if I want to enter in for a buy. I want to place my stop loss near that 7.6 because that red line is telling me, one, if it goes past this line, it's an invalid setup, or two, this is primarily when I'm going to put my stop loss. All right. So we have a nice 100 pip stop loss, and we can make this a quick 1-to-1. So in this trade, we're risking 100 pips, and if we close this trade in profit, we will gain 100 pips, a nice 1-to-1. I'm risking the same amount as my reward. So as I continue, TP is smacked. And this wick probably would have stopped this out as well, which is why I always tell people, yes, you can use a 7.6 as your stop loss, but ideally you want to place it below this area. So for example sakes, yes, this would have actually stopped us out because we had this wick tapping the 76 line. But if I was actually on this chart live to trade, I would probably place my stop loss lower. So that's the difference between the 7.6 and 1. If price does hit that 1 level, then you know for a fact it wasn't valid. But if it's still at that 76 area, that might just be some sort of manipulation, or a lot of wicks like to stomp out a lot of traders before initially having that push, as you guys can see. So this is still a valid example, guys. All right. We have a nice push, bullish traffic. We place the fib, simply waiting for price at that golden zone, and then we enter in for buys. So in this example, we want to place that long position between the 0.5 and 618, and then you want to try to drag your stop loss below that 7.6. Not too wide, but just making sure that in case we have some sort of manipulation or a wick out, you can still keep this trade alive. All right. I'm actually going to explain this one more time, just in case that was confusing for anybody. So we're going to take GN, for example, and go over one thing that I feel like most people should take advantage of, which is impulse candles, okay? So let me go ahead and remove all this real quick. So on GN, guys, right, if I take my replay tool, let's go ahead and come back to this area. Notice how candles are kind of stagnant. They're consolidating. We don't see a different candle from the rest, right? They pretty much look the same. Yes, we have a little traffic right here, but they're still consolidating. All right. So as I continue, we're going to wait to see if we can find an impulsive candle. Okay, so boom. These bullish candles back to back. I'm on the 1 hour time frame, guys, right? This is what I like to call traffic, because we can clearly see that we have a huge push in the market and there's a lot of volatility, okay? So I'm just gonna highlight this. And what I like to do, guys, if I don't have areas of supply and demand, support, resistance, and I wanna try to look for a retracement or an area of value that price could potentially come back to, I'm placing my fib from the bottom of traffic to the top. Simply placing that 1 at the bottom of this bullish candle and the 0 at the top of this bullish close. All right, and as we have this bearish opening candle, we can clearly see that this is its only phase, or this is this last stop that this bullish traffic is going to have, right? So now that I have my fib, I'm going to highlight this area of value. And let's say if I'm about to go to class, if I have an event to run to, then I'm simply going to place an alert around the 0.5 area and 0.618, so that I know once price hits this area, it's going to alert my phone, and then I'm going to simply look for a buy entry or a long position. So as I continue, guys, we're gonna wait for price at that area. Boom, now I just got an alert that price just hit that golden zone. So I'm simply gonna look for a long position. I'm gonna get my long position tool out, and I'm gonna place my stop loss below that 7.6 zone just a little bit, just in case we have some sort of manipulation, because a lot of wicks sometimes like to stomp out a lot of traders at this area, because you have to remember, Fibonacci is very popular. A lot of people know this concept, okay? I'm not going to act like this is something I created, because it's not. But since a lot of retail traders are hopping in, a lot of liquidity is building up below that area, right? Because a lot of people are hopping in, and that area between your entry and stop loss holds some sort of value that the traders that you're trading against want to take, all right? So this is why I always tell people, try to have your stop loss below that 7.6 area just a little bit, in case we have some sort of manipulation or a wick out. So in this example, we can make this a nice 1-to-1. We can make this pretty tight as well. Let's go ahead and make this a 1-to-1 just in case. So this is 145 pips, and we can go ahead and make this 145 as well for a simple 1-to-1. And as I continue, let's see what happens. So what do? We simply identified an area of traffic, of a lot of momentum, volatility, which was these bullish candles, right? And now we're waiting for that retracement. So as I continue, oh no, we're in drawdown, and then we're in drawdown, and a lot of people here are hopping out because they're afraid. And then we have this wick forming, indicating that this was some sort of manipulation, taking out the traders that were potentially scared or had their stop loss at this 7.6 area. And boom, price shoots up. So in this example, Again, we just placed a fib after we identified some sort of bullish momentum. We waited for the golden zone. We had our alert. It said, hey, price is at the golden zone. We placed our stop loss below the 76 line. And then we waited for that TP to get smacked. So this is something you guys will see all the time. I just want to show the example on GN because combining your knowledge of Fibonacci and, traffic is going to help you in the long run because you can clearly identify where these market gaps are going to form based off of volatility. Okay, so I'm going to make a clip out of that. I'm going to post on Instagram because this is super important and I feel like it's super slept on because I use it almost every day and it works almost on any pair that you trade. So if you guys want to review that, you can. And of course, it will be live on YouTube. But all right, let's go ahead and look at these other pairs real quick. Right here on EU, we have this nice support. And again, we just talked about it on GN. We can clearly see that these candles are different from the rest. We have a lot of volume. These bullish candles are back to back, meaning they have some sort of traffic, guys. All right, so one, you can either wait for a retracement, which is what I'm doing right now. Simply lined up this level off of previous market structure. I know that if price was reacting off of these levels right here, it has some sort of support or resistance, okay? So now I'm simply waiting for price to come back down to this area to enter in on a buy, a continuation of price. All right, so I'm just going ahead and mark that up. And then EA did the same thing, guys. We have this nice bullish candle right here, bullish traffic. And as I place this fib, you guys can clearly see that after we had this bullish momentum, it had to come back to retrace itself to a point of value, which was this 0.5, aka golden zone, to have a nice bullish continuation. Same thing on EC, guys. We have a nice impulse move right here. Bullish candles back to back indicating some sort of traffic. You guys want to place your fib tool, you can. And it just hits that golden zone before pushing back up. So as you guys can tell, you guys will see this over and over again, all right? Yes, when it comes to Fibonacci, it is best to have some sort of previous structure, lower lows, lower highs, higher lows. But you can also find these Fibonacci setups when you have traffic, or you can identify impulsive moves when you have candles like this back to back. All right, so going back to gold, I'm not seeing any setups, to be honest, on gold this morning. If we were around this area, then yes, potentially, because we have this nice demand zone that we respected last week. And I like to use previous market structure unless it's really old or outdated. In this example, we can still use it because you can clearly see that price is kind of rejecting off of the zone still, but it's not perfect. So this is pretty choppy right now. We can go ahead and box it up as well and wait for some sort of indication that it's going to have a continuation, a BOS to the upside or BOS to the downside. And BOS just simply means break of structure. But right now I'm only really looking at GU because we are at this nice demand zone. And as you guys can tell, I am indicating that it is going to push up sometime this morning off of news and off of technical analysis. But it's now 6:30. I'm going to take a 5-minute break in a second. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and do so. I'm going to make sure my Discord is okay. And I will catch you guys in a minute. All right. Check, check, check. All right, I think we're good. Let me go ahead and put this on the screen as well. Give me 1 second, guys. So I just hopped in on GU. If you guys want to take this trade as well, go ahead and do so. I have the coordinates. I went ahead and sent this to the chat as well. So if you guys missed this live, all of my signals will be sent out in the mentorship program. All right. And of course, free analysis will be in Discord. This was GU, right? Yeah, GBP. USD. Make sure this is good. Alrighty, so the only trade I am in right now currently is GU. I was just making sure my chat was able to see that. I was just making sure I sent that out in the signals chat. But this is the only trade I hopped in this morning, guys. Hopefully it is displaying on my screen. If it's not, just let me know. But GU is looking pretty choppy this morning. And I'm gonna go over a few concepts and analysis at 7 o'clock. Right now, we're just taking a break. You guys can go ahead and ask questions. If you guys want me to analyze a pair, let me know now. Otherwise, this morning's probably gonna be very chill. Yeah, I'll go ahead and talk about all these pairs I have marked up at 7, but for now, I'm just keeping an eye on GU. If you guys are not in the Discord, go ahead and join that as well. I'll have all my updates there, and I will be posting my new stream schedule sometime this afternoon. But yeah, I'll be right back. I'll be back in 5 minutes, and we will go over all that. So I will see you guys in a minute. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wait the next 5 minutes for the next opening on the 1 hour time frame. You guys can go ahead and ask questions. You want me to analyze any charts, go ahead and do so now. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and set my new schedule sometime this week. I've been super busy, guys. I've been doing a lot behind the camera, and my camera actually finally came back. I don't know if you guys knew, but I broke my camera recently. So now that that's back, I will be uploading more videos on YouTube, long, short content, short content coming on Instagram, Reels, all that good stuff. I've been planning all that out last weekend. But yeah, super excited for that. But for now, I think everything's pretty much structured. I just have to be consistent now. And if I'm missing anything, it will be updated in the Discord. Both of you guys are doing okay. There's only like 2 people in here. But I guess this is what happens when you don't stream consistently. I will be back on my consistency this week in 4th quarter. But make sure you guys join the Discord. That's very important. The reason why I'm pushing my Discord out so much is because it's a free resource. And I'm gonna clean it up this month as well because a lot of people are inactive. But there's PDFs, there's traders in there that have a lot of good knowledge you guys can reach out to. And I just feel like no one should be wasting their money on resources that are free or resources that you can find somewhere else. And my whole objective with that Discord is to build a nice, trusted community where traders can help each other out. Because I understand when you first start in this industry, it can be very scary. Because a lot of people don't know where to go, who to talk to, how to trade. And of course, you have to realize there's that whole hype around trading that you can flip money at a fast rate. So people are trying to obtain all this information at once. My Discord has a whole bunch of information. So right now I'm just looking at GU. If I do get stumped out this morning, that's perfectly fine. I'll keep everything on record on the screen as well. Not going to hide my results. But if we do have a potential re-entry after getting stopped out and TP is smacked above the initial stop loss, let's say if we get stopped out at 25, re-entry, and then it goes back into profit, I will count that as a win. All right, I'll still put it on my record, but I'll still count it as a win, just letting you guys know. Because I go more off of my analysis. If my analysis was correct, over was my entry accurate. So if my analysis was accurate, I count that as a win regardless. So if you guys want me to analyze any charts, go ahead and do so, or go ahead and send me your chart analysis. If you guys want me to talk about any pairs, I will. But at 7, I'm gonna go over some concepts real quick that I talked about at the beginning, and then we'll see what's up with these other pairs. We have about 15 more seconds, and we're gonna go back to the chart. Alrighty, so we are now back on GU. It does look like we're about to get stopped out, which is perfectly fine because I'm looking at all these other GBP pair pairs. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm looking at these other GU pairs And as you guys can see on GA, it's pushing down towards this 1 hour demand as well. And sometimes these pairs like to correlate one another. So if we do get stomped out on GU, that's perfectly fine. I will look at that re-entry for an initial retracement, and I'll send it out in the Discord or the Signal chat. But GA, as you guys can see, price is heading down towards this 1 hour demand. And I think it is correlating with GU as well. So if price continues to push down, more than likely it's going to stop at this area, or we can look at more entries. So here's our 1 hour demand zone on GA. Here's where I'm looking where to enter in case price does decide to stop around this area. GU is not looking too good. We did open bullish, but price is probably going to start melting down to this demand zone over here. This was kind of choppy. As you guys can see, a lot of wicks are going in and out right here. So it happens. Sometimes you guys will enter in way too early, but as you guys can see, I was able to identify some sort of traffic. So either way, there's going to be a retracement this morning. Price isn't just going to continue down. There's going to be some sort of retracement to the upside. So it's either going to retrace right here, or it's either going to retrace right here. All right. So this morning on GU, I'm still looking for buys regardless. Okay, yes, we can try to find a scalp. We can try to sell to this area around here, but I'm looking for the big move, right? I want to try to catch the most pips as possible. So price heading down here and retracing off this demand will be a lot greater than price just shooting down for a scalp. All right, so either way, I'm in right now, and if we get stomped out, I'm going to enter in again for this re-entry. And then on GA, we're waiting for price to hit this demand zone to enter in for buys. All right, I'm going to go ahead and send that in the Discord as well. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I think my mic was muted, but everything's good to go. Everything's in the Discord. And let me know if you guys can hear me over the music, over the desktop audio. I'll make sure my voice is clear. But as you guys can see, price is starting to head back up after the 7 o'clock opening. We have this nice bullish candle that opened after this previous close. But we'll see what happens this morning. So far, I'm only in one trade. I'm on GU. Gold is pretty choppy this morning, as I love to trade gold. It's not looking too good, guys. So I simply just boxed in price, and I'm waiting for a break of structure to the upside or downside using my favorite method, the box strategy. GU starting to head into profit. And also, I'm going to state this now so you guys know my rules of a winning trade. After we hit TP1 or after I'm able to break even, meaning moving my stop loss to entry, I count that as a win. If I'm able to secure my stop loss so that we can't lose any money, I count that as a win. So after TP1, aka after we break even, that is a winning trade because people can break even, or I'm sorry, people can close their trade whenever they want in profit. All right. So just so it makes sense, I'm gonna say it one more time because sometimes I speak too fast. My rules for a winning trade: after we hit TP1, that's when I usually break even. So whatever I'm risking, I put my alert at that same amount of pips in profit. So if I'm risking 25 pips in this example, TP1 will be at 25 pips or more. So after TP1 gets smacked, I move my stop loss to entry so that it's a risk-free trade. Risk-free trade meaning if price decides to reverse, it's going to stop me out at my entry rather than my initial stop loss. So the reason why I count this as a win, because when we hit TP1, that's when people can make it a risk-free trade by breaking even, moving their stop loss to their entry so that they can close out whenever they want in profit. That is a win in my opinion. And of course, I'll have an alert set at TP3 or TP2 for all the profits that we are able to secure. But that is my definition for a winning trade as I start to do these lives every day. If we hit TP1, if we're able to break even and make this a risk-free trade, it's a win, okay? So again, the only trade I'm in right now is in GU. I'm still keeping my eye on gold. We're gonna see what happens in the next 30 minutes. But if gold's not looking too good, I'm gonna leave it alone. And then GA, we're waiting for price to hit that demand zone. Yes, these pairs do correlate with one another. So if GA decides to melt and GU mocks that pair, then this will be the potential re-entry if we get stomped out, all right? See if we have any news announcements that came out after 7 o'clock. EU is keeping its range around 9,850 as the mixed Germany and Eurozone sentiment data fail to impress. So let's see if that's accurate. Okay. Yeah, so whenever you guys read up on news, don't just read it and have a bias off of what these people are saying about the economy. Make sure you double check it. So if it's saying something about a certain area of price like 9,850, simply go on TradingView and see that for yourself. Because once you do that, it's gonna help you make sense of what these news announcements are talking about and how they correlate to the market. So whenever I read something, if it talks about anything about price, if it's saying that price is stagnant or GPU is melting past 1.50 or a certain number, a certain price, you want to go ahead and double check that on your chart just so you can see what is actually happening in the real world, okay? So what I like to do every morning, I just send these announcements out and I paste them in my Discord so you guys can read up on these announcements and check TradingView to see how it correlates to news, okay? I think that's very important because it helps people practice and develop this habit of checking news and correlating your fundamental analysis to your technical analysis. So GU is pushing up. This live is pretty slow this morning, which is perfectly okay. For the few people that are here, if you guys want to send any charts or if you guys want me to talk about any pairs that you're looking at this morning, feel free to let me know. I'll be more than glad to cover them. But I hope you guys are having a good morning. And I can't wait to run this up. I'm going to be doing this all fourth quarter, guys. So stay tuned. Let me go ahead and check GU. Currently in profit on GU, guys. We're just gonna see what happens in the next 5 minutes. If you guys have any questions, let me know, but I'll be right back. Alrighty, so GU is looking pretty good. We're gonna see what happens in the next 15 minutes. Hopefully we have a nice bullish opening after that 30-minute. But let's go ahead and look at gold. Again, pretty stagnant morning. We go ahead and look at Forex Factory. You guys can see that there's no red folders this morning, all yellow, meaning nothing's really happening. It's gonna be a pretty chill morning. But hopefully we have a nice risk-free trade on GU. I sent that out in the Discord, and of course, if you're in my signals chat, you will have access to the coordinates. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens in the next 30 minutes or 15 minutes. And if we can't find anything on gold, we'll just call it a wrap. But this live will be saved, so if you guys miss anything that I talked about this morning, you can be sure to check out the live once it's posted on YouTube. If you guys have any questions, you can ask them. If you guys have any charts you want to look at, any pairs you want me to analyze, feel free to let me know, and I will do so. This is a nice demand entry on the 1 hour time frame. And then on GA, if price does decide to melt on the GBP pairs, then this is an entry I will be looking at or anticipating on GA for a long position. So identify some traffic. Price was doing its thing in its first range, right? And then as you guys can see, it had a nice break of structure past the support, coming back to our previous range. And if price continues to melt, I'm anticipating an entry at around this demand zone. Okay. And then GU, simply just waiting for price to do its thing. If it does hit TP1, I'm going to go ahead and delete this right here. But if price decides to melt in the next 15 minutes, and if we do get stumped out, this is a potential re-entry spot that I'm looking at. All right. Oh, and Euro USD, if price decides to come back around 98.50, then I'm gonna look for buys. But for now, it's looking pretty stagnant, as you guys can see on the 30-minute time frame. Price is kind of doing its thing right now, but if it does decides to push a little lower, I will look for entries. And then Euro CHF, which is an interesting pair. As you guys can see, we have this nice impulse candle, this nice bullish traffic back to back, and it did hit this golden zone. It tapped this 0.5 zone right here, and it is starting to push up, but I'm going to keep a nice eye on it and see what happens as I am starting to study these pairs. All right, because this could just be a fake out on the daily time frame. But the boxing method is super powerful, guys, especially on gold. Simply just wait for price to do its thing. If it's pretty stagnant or if you are in a choppy range, don't follow price. Don't try to scalp to the upside or downside. Simply just wait for a break of structure. Boxing price and just wait to see if we're going to have a break of structure to the upside or downside. Because I guarantee you can find another area closer of supply and demand after we have that break of structure that price is going to follow. So lead price to that area after we have a break of structure, either for long positions or short positions. And then GU is doing its thing. This is a trade I did enter in this morning. If you guys were here this morning, you guys were live for that. And if you guys took this, that's awesome. It should display on the screen, but this is the only trade I took live so far. And of course, I will send updates and keep you guys updated as I have my alerts. So after TP1 gets smacked, if we break even, we call it a risk-free trade, and we go about our day. If we get stomped out, this is a potential re-entry. But I don't see anything on gold this morning, guys. Unfortunately, this morning has been pretty slow. As you guys can see, there's not too much happening on Forex Factory. There was an announcement that came out on GU. I did send it out in the Discord, and I explained earlier how that correlates to the market. Because whenever you guys read news, any announcements has to do something with the market. It's going to impact your technical analysis in some way. So as you guys start to read news, just practice understanding that whatever people are talking about, if it has some sort of price in its announcement, you should double check the market to see if it correlates to that announcement. All right. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens in the next 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and leave in the next 5 minutes and come back at 9:30. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. Or if you guys have any charts you want me to analyze, go ahead and send me that as well. And also, let me know if you guys like my new OBS setup. You know, I took the time to learn how all this works last weekend. As you guys know, from day one, my setup was looking pretty rookie, but hopefully this is okay. I don't want to put too many things on my screen. I don't want to put not enough things on my screen. But we are about, let me go see, 10 pips away from TP1. Hopefully you guys hopped in this trade with me. If you guys are in this trade, you should be in profit. And if not, it's perfectly fine, because I always say this in all my streams. You know, when I call live trades, I don't expect you guys to take them at all, right? These streams are specifically for education. You know, I'm gonna go over concepts. I'm gonna go over things that a lot of people don't really talk about. But if I do execute any trades, it is up to you to hop into them. I'm not trying to force anyone to hop in any trades live, because at the end of the day, I want you guys to form your own bias so that you don't have to rely on anyone in the market. I want you guys to be able to wake up every morning not having to look at anybody's YouTube channel or any live streams and just simply trade on your own. But if you guys want to hop in these trades with me, you can, all right? But I'm not trying to influence anyone to hop in any trades they don't feel comfortable with. It's all about education. And don't feel like you're missing out as well. Let's say if this does hit TP1 and you guys didn't hop in, don't feel like you missed out. I'm gonna be doing this every morning, guys. I'm gonna be here every morning. You guys are gonna have a lot of opportunities to send your analysis, for us to have a conversation. For you guys to hop in winning trades, you know, this is not the only day I'm going to be streaming. So don't feel like you're missing out. Promise you guys you're not. And if it does hit TP before 7:25, I'm gonna go ahead and leave for a few minutes so that I can update my Discord and Signals chat. Because I am only one person doing all this, guys, so please be patient with me. So I make sure everything is organized this morning. But so far, so good. Gold is still looking pretty stagnant. GA is doing its thing. GN. I should be dropping some content this week on my Instagram. And I should be dropping a video today on YouTube. But we'll see what happens with my schedule. I'm super busy, guys. I do apologize. I'm trying to balance all these things at once. And I am still in school. So I'm going to do my best, but I know for a fact I'm going to be consistent with these live streams as I have everything down packed. As you guys can see on my screen, updated OBS, and I will send my new trading schedule sometime in the Discord this afternoon. So if I don't, I'll make sure I hold myself accountable to that. But I should be live every morning from 6 to 8 a.m. So I'll be back in 5 minutes. We're gonna see what happens on GU and talk about it. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them. I love to answer any questions or I love any feedback. If you guys want me to analyze any charts, send me your pairs and we can have a conversation. But just let me know. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Alrighty, awesome. So TP1 was smacked, aka break even. So what I'm simply gonna do, guys, is move my stop loss to my entry, and I'm gonna move my alert to my entry as well, so that I know if I do get stomped out, I got stomped out at 0. So this is now a winning trade because TP1 was smacked. So if you guys took this trade, you can close in profit or simply wait for TP2. So I'm gonna go ahead and place these alerts real quick, and then I'll be right back as I need to update my chat. But let's see, 351. TP2 snagged. All right. Let me go ahead and update my chat real quick. I'm gonna delete all this. All right, I'll be right back, guys. All right, everything should be updated now. This is a great trade that we took this morning, guys. This is awesome. Short little dub on GU. We had a nice 1 to 2 risk to reward. I was risking 25 pips in this trade, and my TP2 was placed at around 60 pips. So this was like 2.5 risk and reward, but TP1 was smacked, and I was able to break even, making this a risk-free trade. So whenever it's a risk-free trade, I count this as a win because 1, you can exit out and profit whenever you want, and 2, if you do get stomped out, you will be stomped out at around 0, right? And I always tell people, you know, a lot of people, they feel like getting stomped out at 0 is a bad thing, but remember, Forex trading is not easy. You can lose a lot of money. So me personally, I'd rather get stomped out at 0 than stomped out at my initial 25 pips. I'd rather make nothing than lose nothing. Okay, guys? So once you're risk-free, or once you break even, once you make it a risk-free trade, I count that as a win. Because technically that is a 1-to-1 risk to reward. All right? So nice little entry on GU this morning. Called out live at around, I think it was around 7 o'clock. If not, I'll double check. But this live will be saved in case you guys want to watch this as well. But everything should be updated. Gold, again, is looking pretty stagnant this morning. GA, waiting for price to head to this demand zone to enter in for a nice buy. And then GU hopefully continues to push up as we head near TP2. In today's live, I only talked about the box strategy, guys. And I might make a separate video on Instagram, or I might clip it up in this live and post it on YouTube. But if you guys want me to explain that again, just let me know. Otherwise, just watch the stream from the beginning. We're just going to keep an eye on GU for the last 30 minutes or so. But if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask so. If you want me to break down this analysis again, I'll be more than glad to. Or if you guys want to send your analysis for me to talk about, I will also be glad to do so as well. But at 9:40, we're going to go ahead and switch angles and wait for the next 15-minute opening. Make sure it's good. Let's see if any announcements came out on FX Street that we're going to talk about. In this live as well, I also covered why fundamental analysis is important, why news is important, and how to correlate any information into the market. Because I think it's really important for new traders, especially, to get in the habit of incorporating your fundamental analysis into your technical analysis. Because once you have both perspectives, it's going to be easier to mark up your charts because you know what's going on in the real world and you know what's happening in TradingView. But right now, we only have news announcements on EU. GU is looking nice, pushing up right now. If you guys took this trade, you should be in profit. And also, if my streams are helpful, guys, please be sure to like the video, like the stream, as I am taking my time to do this for you guys. If these streams are helpful, a like would be greatly appreciated. And again, my schedule is going to be updated in Discord. I'll let you guys know my streaming schedule, but I should be live every morning from 6 to 8. So even if you guys miss out on a live trade call out, don't feel like you're missing out because I'm going to be doing this every morning. All right. So I'm just going to keep an eye on GU. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them. But for now, we're just going to chill. Also, I feel like I need to change my music. I'm going to try to figure out the best option for streaming, but my go-to is Lo-Fi, as it is pretty relaxing. But you guys let me know what type of music is good. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Hopefully it's relaxed. Because it is the morning, you know, people are waking up, they're tired as hell, looking at their laptops, their phones. So I don't want to play any like Migos or anything that's like hip hop. Just relaxing music, you know. So in about 3 minutes, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them, and make sure you guys join the Discord. All my lives will be saved. So for the 3 people that are in here, if you feel like you missed out on anything I talked about, this live will be posted later today. I simply covered the box in method, aka box strategy that I use, Fibonacci and how that correlates to impulsive candles, how to catch simple moves, and then I talked about fundamental analysis, how to read news, and why it correlates to the market on an everyday basis. So the 3 things again: box strategy, fundamental analysis, and traffic. Those are the main 3 things I talked about this live. I'll try not to repeat myself. So if you guys want to watch that again, this live will be posted on YouTube. And of course, I'll do my best to clip up any moments of education that I feel like are best to be put on Instagram. Excuse me. Yeah, but doing this is something I really wanted to incorporate on my YouTube channel for a long time. I just didn't have the equipment, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. But live streaming is something I've really pushed for a lot of traders, because in this industry, I feel like there's a huge gap between people who are trying to just make money and people who are actually trying to help a larger community. A lot of people are not as transparent. My whole objective, watching my videos from day one, is to be transparent in this video. I want to be able to provide videos that are super transparent so people know what it's really like to do this for a living. So my whole goal is to make this very super, I don't know why I said very and super in the same sentence, but very transparent and very simple for anyone to hop in the market and learn this at a faster rate. So hopefully my live streams provide a lot of knowledge, information, while trying to catch moves on a day-to-day basis with someone you look up to. So that's my whole initiative behind my live streams. I feel like a lot of people hide a lot of information, and this is something I've been scared to do for a long time. And I feel like because I'm scared to do it, it's gonna push me even harder. I try to do things that challenge me. As you guys can tell from my recent videos, I'm starting to talk about the economy, things that I normally don't talk about because it's things that challenge me on a day-to-day basis. Waking up and just trading and posting on Instagram and showing the withdrawals is super easy. Making videos that are pre-recorded, moves that already happened in the market, are super easy. Doing this live is a challenge. It shows 1, credibility, if you know what you're talking about, and 2, transparency. So the fact that I'm able to do this live shows some sort of credibility. It's challenging me to actually do this live before the move actually happens. This is why I'm pushing my live streams. GA is doing his thing. Usually I try to catch around 2 to 3 moves every morning, but if we only have GU, that's perfectly fine, guys. I'm not tripping. But I will review this later, maybe on Discord. I know for a fact it's gonna be on Instagram, and of course it's gonna be in my signal chat for those that are there. But we're gonna see what happens in the next 15 minutes. I'll be back in 4 minutes as we close up the last 15 minutes of this stream. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask. Until then, I'll see you guys in a second. Alrighty, so for the last 13 minutes or so, we're gonna keep an eye on GU. If it does hit TP2 live, that's awesome. But this is the only trade I took this morning. Covered a few concepts, but that's about it, guys. It was a very relaxed morning. Not a lot was happening. If you guys do not have my Instagram, make sure you guys follow that. I will be posting either today or tomorrow. I'm going to get active this week with shorts, reels, all that good stuff. But for the few people that hopped on this live, I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you obtained some knowledge. And if you joined late, everything that I talked about is at the beginning. Also, I need to send a trading plan out into my Discord, a new trading plan that I feel like will help a lot of people when it comes to risk, what you're risking every day, having a risk plan for a week, month, year, so that you know what to calculate for your ratios and what you're risking every day. Me personally, I like to have my stop loss at around 20 pips. I don't try to make it too wide unless I'm swinging on gold when I'm catching those 100 to 200 pip trades. But on regular Forex pairs, I try to keep my pips at around 25 pips or 20. And then I just do the math. So if I'm using a 1-to-1, I'll do 20 pips, 1-to-2, 50, 1-to-3, 75. Or if it was a 20 pip stop loss, a 1-to-3 would be 60. A lot of inflation going on in this world, guys. It's getting wild out here. I know we're gonna have a huge recession soon, but this inflation is affecting a lot of people. I talked about it in my last video, but consumer prices rose 4% in September, and we're, oh, I'm sorry, 0.4% in September, and we're up 8.2% from a year ago, according to BLS data released Thursday. Markets now expect the Fed could institute consecutive 0.75 percentage point rate hikes in November and December. All right, so although we're having all this inflation, you guys can't profit off of it, but just be careful. A lot of people are afraid because the markets are kind of acting up, but I believe there is going to be a recovering phase after all this inflation affects the markets. And I did talk about it in my last video when I'm predicting this will happen, especially in October. So this week's gonna be pretty chill. Wednesday we do have an announcement at 2 a.m. So that's London. Thursday is probably gonna be the most active because we do have some red folders at 8:30 on USD pairs. Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, unemployment claims as well on Thursday, and then Friday is going to be pretty chill as well. So this week's going to be pretty chill. Hopefully we can catch some small moves like this morning on GU. Nice 20 pip trade, 20 to 25 pips. Nothing too bad, but hopefully we can catch a swing on gold this week. Yo, what's good, Dave? What's good? What's good? Thanks for joining. This live stream is about to end, but I will save it for my YouTube in case you want to watch this over again. I covered a few things this morning, talked about my box strategy. I talked about traffic and how you can correlate that with the Fibonacci setting or the Fibonacci sequence. And then lastly, I talked about how to read news and how that incorporates into your technical analysis. So box strategy, talked about traffic and how to incorporate that with the Fibonacci sequence. And then I talked about news and why news is important. Yes, we did have a trade called out live this morning. Hit TP1, currently risk-free. So TP1 was smacked, and I'm counting that as a win. And everything else will be sent in the Discord. I'm gonna put my trading schedule out this afternoon. I know I repeat that self. What just happened? I know I repeat myself a lot. I'm just trying to make sure I hold myself accountable because I have a lot going on behind the camera. So this afternoon, my trading schedule will be posted. Are you able to show me how to count pips on gold and indices before you go? Yeah, sure. So on gold, on TradingView, first and foremost, make sure you have your toolbar set up like this. I think I have a video covering TradingView. So just find that on my channel, and you should have your toolbar set up similar like this. I have all these tools that I use when I'm marking up my charts. And one tool that is very helpful when I count pips is the price range, okay? So I'm pretty sure you can find this. Let's see. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7th column. And it should be called price range, okay? So once you have that tool, you just put a star next to it. And it should now be in your toolbar. I simply take this when I'm trying to determine where I want my pips to be or where I want my TP to be. And you see on the side, let me go ahead and let me come over here actually. So on the left, you see 7.542 or 6.622. So these numbers on the left, this is where you want to look at, okay? So you simply just take one decimal and put it to the right. So this would be 66 pips, okay? Not 6 pips. This is 66. 6 pips would be right here because you're simply moving one decimal to the right. And of course, you can round these 2 digits right here. So this is 0.622. But if I wanted to round this, it would just be 6 points or 6 pips, okay? So this right here, if this was 0.676, you want to round that to the next number. So this would be 7 pips. So you're simply pushing this decimal to the right, but then you're rounding up the next 2 numbers. So let's go right here. So this right here would be 17 pips. Because yes, once you push this decimal to the right, technically it is 16, but because these next 2 numbers are 76 above 50, you're just simply rounding it to the next number. So this would be 17 pips. Okay, it's the same for indices. Okay, is it the same for indices? So indices being US 30, NOS, etc. So US 30 is a point system. It's not the same, no. As you guys can see, or as you can see, there's no decimal. These are points. So they're not the same for indices. This is only the same for regular Forex pairs in some way with the decimal. But with regular Forex pairs, it just tells you the number to the right. So Forex pairs are a little easier to read because it just tells you to the side. So this is 66 pips, this is 30, etc., etc. So on GU, in this trade, this would be 60 pips. So the number just tells you right here in the middle, it says 60.2. But on gold, which is a commodity, it's a little bit more complex. You got to move the decimal to the right. So this would be 60 pips. You just move one decimal to the right. And the indices is a point system. Does that make sense, Dave Walters? If it doesn't, let me know, and I will send you a private video, or just hit me up in Discord, and we can go over it later today, because this stream is about to end in 3 minutes. So hopefully that explanation was good enough. If it wasn't, just hit me up in Discord, and I'll help you out so you have a full understanding. Yeah, most definitely. Indices can be a little bit more confusing since it's a point system, but that's kind of a longer explanation, and I'm not sure I'll have time. So I'll explain it to you later in the Discord, and I'll try to find a video if I have one already, and I'll just send it to you privately. But hopefully hopefully that explanation makes sense, especially on gold, because I know that can be sometimes confusing. And yeah, just reach out to me later today, and I'll be sure to get back to you. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. I appreciate everyone that joined this morning. It was a pretty relaxing stream. We were able to catch a W on GU. I'm gonna keep a record throughout the week and month as I continue to update OBS. But this is a great stream. Talked about a lot, and I will put my streaming schedule sometime in Discord this afternoon. If you guys missed out, this live will be saved in case you want to check it out. And that is all I have. So again, hope you guys have a safe trading week, day, month, year, and I'll catch you guys in the next stream. I'm out. Have a good morning.